What's going on, everyone? Gilman with the Wealthy, back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today and some key support and resistance levels to look out for as we go into the future. So real quick, if you enjoyed these videos, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I try to do these videos on a daily basis and I really appreciate each and every one of you guys' support. So wasting no time, let me hit record and we'll get right into the video. So today again wasn't a lot of movement for Apple until the very close, and then we saw a little bit of a drop. So we were down 97 cents for the day, another 14 cents after hours, which is 0.76%. So let's compare that to kind of how the NASDAQ did. The NASDAQ was down 0.21%. The Dow was down 167 points, and then the S&P was down about 0.54%. So, nothing too out of the ordinary for Apple today. What we saw is, right out of the bat, it goes one direction or the other, and then kind of swings the other way. So we pushed up, right? We opened up in the mid 119s. We pushed up all the way to 120.30, and then we fell, and we actually fell kind of hard. We fell to the 118, like the low point was 118.96. And as we've talked about, if you've continued watching my videos, what we know is 119 has held up as good support, right? So we're watching 117, 119, 121.50. So as it was falling, that's kind of what I was watching out for that 119 level. And then it began pushing up, right? So we were below VWAP. It pushed up. Didn't really stop until 120.50, which, if you've watched my previous videos, is a point that we're watching out for to try to knock that out. Weren't able to knock it out, so we fell, hit VWAP, bounced, hit VWAP, kind of made it below, but bounced, pushed up. This time made it through the 120.50 to 120.67, came down just a little bit, came up just a little bit, came down, came up. This time couldn't make the high from previous times, and then it was a hard kind of sell off into the close. Not as bad as what we had in the morning, but nonetheless not a great sort of end to the day. As we fell, not only below VWAP, but we didn't kind of make a push back towards VWAP. So this kind of fall from 119.70 into the 119.30s, high 30s, low 40s, was a pretty decent sell-off. So let's take a look at our daily chart and see what we see there. So what we know is, in the past, couple trading days for sure, we've kind of had candles start and close in this channel between 119 and 121.50, which could tell you that there's a little bit of a consolidation going on. Totally normal for a stock, right, before it decides what it really wants to do. What we've seen is it's bouncing off of the 119 level pretty nicely, and it's trying to push up, but every time it goes up to the mid 120s, mid to high 120s, we see a little bit of a sell-off, profit taking, and it's not really quite able to make it to the 121.50 other than this time over here. So 3 days ago to yesterday, or 2 days ago to yesterday, right, we see we had a lower high or higher high set and a higher low. Today we do have a higher low, but we didn't make a higher high. Yesterday's high was 120.99. Today's high was 120.67. Just something to look out for, right? So what is, moving forward, what are sort of the levels that we're looking out for? Well, as support, we've got 119.39 and 117. Let me put the moving average lines and we can kind of look at them together. So 20 and 50 moving average lines are in the 115s. If we were to fall that much, that should hold up as good support. But the EMAs, which are a little bit more relevant in my opinion, yesterday we saw it kind of bounce perfectly. 4 or 5 days ago we saw the bottom of the candle bounce perfectly off the 8 EMA. The 8 EMA is coming up, and what that shows me is we might have the support moving up as well from the 8 EMA. So today the 8 EMA is in the mid 118s, 118.43. Should hold up as good support if we were to break the 119 channel sometime. And it doesn't act as support, the 8 EMA should hold up. And then we've got the 21 and the 34 down at 116.94 and 116.30. So that, 21 EMA at 116.94 is perfectly kind of aligned with the 117 mark that we're talking about. So we could see it bounce off 117 or high 116, same thing. And then we've got, one more at 116 and then another at 114 if it were to fall that much. And then 110 is our 89 EMA. So that's something to look out for. In terms of when a stock falls, it's really crucial to look at, you know, these EMAs and moving average lines, but also what the low point was for yesterday was, right? So what I was watching today is not only those lines, but the low of yesterday was 118.15. So if it were to fall and it doesn't bounce at the 119 level, I'm watching that 118.15 level. Tomorrow's case, it bounced off of 118.96, kind of aligns with 119, right? So if it breaks that 119, I'm watching that 118. Pushing up, I'd want to see, you know, we're at 119.39. Today's high was 120.67. I'd like to see it push towards that, then 120.99 from the day before. Then we move back to this 121.99, and then again, you know, if you've watched my videos, you know we're going to go all the way back to mid-October and take a look at, you know, when we set the high of 123.03 and 125.39. So it'll be an interesting couple of days because we don't really have any catalysts coming up for Apple, and in terms of, you know, the overall market, we've got, you know, coronavirus kind of rising, but we've also got vaccine news coming. None of those necessarily have to have an impact on tech, because, you know, you could argue that when people go back to school and live normal lives, reliance on tech decreases. But the other side of that is, you know, Apple has a 5G iPhone and they're going to have good earnings this year. And, you know, it's the first time in a really long time where their release quarter and Christmas and holiday season is coming in the same quarter. So they should have a pretty monster quarter, in my personal opinion. But, so that's just something that I'm looking out for, you know, those numbers that I discussed. I did take on a short-term trade today. Like I talked to you guys about, I like to, you know, take advantage of some of the volatility that is taking place. So I'm just going to send myself a screenshot of that. It was a Apple put, and I bought it right sort of at the open. What we see here is it was the 119 put. I bought it for a price of $1.90, and it was at 215. This is at 9:02 this morning. So if we go back to the daily chart, I can kind of maybe point out my reasoning for it, right? So the market opens at 8:30, so 9:02 is around here. Yeah, so I bought the stock as it was kind of, you know, when it went up and it got rejected and it came down. When it didn't stop at the VWAP, that was sort of my, like, okay, I'm gonna watch it go down a little bit more. So when it went down to, like, I believe here, I was like, okay, I think it's gonna hit that 119 level. Let me buy 119 put to take quick advantage of, you know, kind of the movement is about to have, which led to a, you know, small 13% gain. It was only $25. But, you know, it was something. So I actually had two, one that I bought yesterday at the close, and one that I bought today. I sold one of them kind of a little bit early. I sold it at like 192, like before it had this fall, kind of where it was consolidating, and I thought it was going to push up. And then one of them I you know, sold for a 13-14% gain. As you can see in the screenshot. So even on one, made decent on another, percentage wise, right? Amount wise, it's $25, but not bad. So just something to keep in mind. So that's all I had for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, comment down below if you're in Apple, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the daily Apple update video. Until then, I hope you guys all have an amazing day and are having an amazing week so far. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day. And until next time.